Everybody stay calm.
What's the
Everybody
procedure,
stay
everyone?
calm.
What's the procedure?
Stay calm.
Wait.
Everybody calm down. No.
Let's see who we can find. Captain, there's a guy we can scare.
I had 4 biscuits and I ate 1. Then I only had 3.
Alright, hey, what's up guys? It's the Nightwing Way of Life Esports coming at you guys with another League of Legends video. Here to talk about the LCS Spring Split 2020 playoffs. Round 3 actually. So after seeing C9 dismantle 100 Thieves, I was looking for a little bit of more matches that'll be a little bit more fair for a lot of these teams, but to be fair, C9 should be able to win the split. There's not really much competition here so far, but you have Golden Guardians versus FlyQuest. Now, coming into the split, Golden Guardians were supposed to be 10th place, and they did play like 10th place material for quite some time, until they actually had a stride where they actually looked pretty decent, and they started to bring in Huhi, which made FBI a lot more stable, since Huhi probably should have just been the starting support anyway. I don't know why they just chose to start Keith. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Closer and Hanser have been pretty solid top end junglers. You also had Golden Glue, who's also a pretty strong mid laner, all things considered. Then looking basically past that point, you have FlyQuest, who coming into this split got Power of Evil and Ignar, and they've actually looked pretty decently okay most of the split, but even after last week, you're looking at them completely different. They got pretty handily destroyed by Evil Geniuses, well, especially in the game 4, where they had a chance to obviously make a comeback, but they obviously couldn't defend their Nexus because they had let it get hit too low. So coming into this matchup, who's gonna have the stronger opposition to how they actually win? I think Golden Guardians could actually beat FlyQuest, and that's not saying that FlyQuest look insanely bad. I just think that possibly Golden Guardians have the better shot at actually beating them. Now, let's look at how they play. Coming from the Evil Genius series, we know that FlyQuest want to obviously play for the later parts of the game. They don't really want to play towards the early game. That's not something they really want to do. And they really thrive on Ignar being on a playmaking support. They really do thrive on Power of Evil being on a control mage. Then you also have Santorin on a safe early game jungler that can get them through the early game, so they're not exactly super far behind. I think Solo and Viper have not looked actually that good, and they haven't really impressed me so far, but Solo has looked better than Viper, so probably starting next split, they are going to end up starting Solo over Viper. That's just how it might actually be. So what is Golden Guardian's strengths? Well, Golden Guardian's strengths rely on Closer and Golden Glue, and FBI on a safe AD carry. I think most of their wins have come from FBI and Huhi actually being on things like Varus and Tom Kench, so that's actually not that bad. So let's go lane by lane. So you have Viper and Solo versus Hanser. I think Hanser easily beats those two. I think he's been the better performing top laner of the split. I think he's actually arguably, the 4th or 5th best top laner in the league outside of Broken Blade, Someday, and Licorice. I think he'll have no trouble actually with Solo or Viper, because even players like Kumo had no problems with Solo or Viper. Solo did actually make them look better, so maybe Solo will give Hanser a little bit of trouble, but I think Hanser will come out in that matchup super stronger. Closer versus Santorin, I think Closer is a much stronger jungler. I think Closer will get his team ahead effectively a lot more than Santorin will. I think Closer will effectively be around the map, gank, and do the consistent things a jungler can do faster than Santorin. Santorin usually likes to take objectives, gank like once, and then he's pretty much done. So I'm going to give that matchup to Closer actually. Then you have Golden Glue versus Power of Evil. I think it's pretty known that Power of Evil is the better player. I think Golden Glue has shown some pretty good things during the split, but I think that Power of Evil has just been a lot stronger, and some games it was looking like Power of Evil was dragging FlyQuest through a lot of their games, so I'm going to give that to Power of Evil. Golden Glue is not bad, and I could see him actually outperforming Power of Evil on certain games, depending on the pick they are going to actually have. Wild Turtle and Ignar versus Keith and Huhi, that I'm also going to give to FlyQuest because they just have the stronger bot lane. You have, oh sorry, oh my god. Sorry, I just remembered something. My brain just literally exploded. Sorry. The bot lane matchup is FBI and Huhi versus Wild Turtle and Ignar. Sorry about that. But nevertheless, I don't think it really matters even if Keith and Huhi were in the same bot lane anyway. But I'm glad I caught the mistake. Sorry. FBI and Huhi versus Wild Turtle and Ignar. So, I think Ignar is just a stronger support than Huhi. He effectively impacts the map better as a support by doing just pretty much everything you need to do. Wild Turtle and FBI are probably going to be on some utility, damage, late game orientated 80s carry, so it's not going to make that big a deal personally. And I think that FBI will mostly just be on Varus. Like IG have just been putting Puff and Southwind on Varus and Tom Kench so they don't actually feed. And that's what we've been seeing FBI and Huhi on. They've just been mostly on Varus and Tom Kench, while Wild Turtle and Ignar have shown flexibility and they can actually play much different things. So that's pretty much it. And I think the strengths of Power of Evil and Wild Turtle and Ignar will be too much for players like FBI and Huhi and Golden Glue. But to be fair, you can kind of count FBI and Wild Turtle as a coin flip. You don't really know which one of them will carry the game, but I think Wild Turtle has shown he can carry more games effectively from being given less resources from Santorin than FBI. So yeah, this matchup seems to be pretty close actually. I think this will actually go 5 games. This might be the first 5-game series of the playoffs, but I'm gonna give it inevitably. Hey, if they screw me over this time, and they'll screw me over again. Maybe Golden Guardians will get their revenge. Remember, last spring, they actually faced FlyQuest, and they lost with Froggen. Maybe it's time to get their revenge for Golden Guardians. But that probably will not happen. Maybe, actually, who knows? I think Golden Guardians will actually beat FlyQuest 3-2. I think Golden Guardians have shown more at what they could potentially reach than what FlyQuest showed me, obviously, against Evil Geniuses. So I'm going to go with Golden Guardians and the win 3-2. I don't think FlyQuest really have what it takes right now to really overwhelm Golden Guardians, and I think that Closer and Golden Glue will be working together more to get things done more effectively than players like Santorin and Power of Evil. From what they were just doing, they were basically just doing, you know, rather okay lane assignments from FlyQuest, and then they obviously were working towards building towards late game, while Golden Guardians, from the last time we actually saw them, they were working towards the early game and trying to get things more done. So that's it. I predict Golden Guardians versus FlyQuest to be Golden Guardians winning 3-2. So I'll see you guys later. Like, comment, subscribe, most of all, enjoy. I'm the Nightwing, Way of Life Esports, signing out. Peace.
Hi there guys, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more stuff.
Yeah, thank you.